This is the collected water from all of our years past. It's sampling so that we build a continuity. This water mingled has water from all over the globe. From tap water to rivers and lakes and oceans, from years past, from all members that are with us, members that have passed. So this water represents our history and our heritage and our global connection. And I'm going to start by putting a small amount of that water in, which will then be commingled with our current water. There we go. I have two pieces of water to put in for myself. First, and some of you, I don't know, how many of you actually use this? Oh, very good. This gives you an idea of the amount. This is from Bradley Baker, who is, now I need a bigger stand, but that's, well, let's move here. We're very flexible in Unitarian Universalism. There you go. We'll figure this out. But, you know, the thing is, that's the nature of congregational polity. It says who we are. We know how to, we collectively, Unitarian Universalists, know how to worship. You know, you don't need a bishop, you don't need a priest. We know what we need to do to connect with the holy, and we'll make it happen. Bradley Baker is one of our newer members, and he and his wife have been traveling in their motorhome for 3 months. And he actually sent his water to me to make sure it got in the bowl. And this is a collection because he sent me 5 bottles of water from each of the 5 Great Lakes. So isn't that going to be really neat when he commingles those and he'll have that on his mantle. But this is from all 5, and got them labeled, you know, Huron, Ontario, Michigan, Erie, Superior. And so, for Bradley Baker. And I put this water from the lakes. And this is what I'd be now asking you folks to do to give you a model in what we'd like you to say in terms of length. This is water from Ferry Beach, Maine, from the ocean, where I just came back from a week-long class with 15 other Unitarian Universalists who were studying Unitarian Universalist spiritual practices and history. It was a wonderful trip. Now, I invite you to come forward, starting with the front rows, and share your water and stories with us. Oh, yeah. If you did bring water and you just want to pour it from the pitcher and say it's symbolic of some journey or visit, you can do that. I'll do this for you.
This is symbolic. I went to South Carolina this last June to celebrate my great-grandbaby's first birthday, and all of our family were there, all my children, and it was just absolutely wonderful and a beautiful place.
This is the water that I've been gathering for many years. Includes water from Urbana, Champaign, as well as water from here. The only year I'm missing is last year when our daughter died, and it's the water center. Charlie and I took several wonderful trips this year together. We went back to Champaign, Urbana. We went to Missouri, my sister and brother-in-law. I took a long trip myself to see family and friends in various places to reconnect. I went back to Missouri to final farewell to my brother.
This is going to be Catholic, which is quite appropriate. Visiting with one of my sons who lives in Nashville, a planned thing was that I would be there when all these plants he ordered, all kinds of fruit trees and berries and strawberries and everything came, see. So we put water and water and water and water. Okay, that's a great thing. Maybe we do that too. Okay, Kepler, man, more lived.
Got some salt water here that represents trip three of us took to Seaside and Walden Thomason's beach house. The other two were Cheryl Moyer, which was me. It was an educational trip. Terry and I got caught in the undertow, and we were really quite terrified. And the next morning we read in the paper that we were lucky ones. There were several deaths that week.
Wedding, baby, 3,000 miles through green Kansas and the mid-country. They had the floods. We got there when there was no water beside the road, and it was a beautiful, beautiful
One of the real highlights of that trip, the real highlight of that trip was an audiobook that we listened to while driving. It was many hours long. It was Justice Clarence Thomas of the Supreme Court himself reading his biography. It's absolutely fabulous. Highly recommend it to you.
This is water from Sue Blackshear's stream in her family land that they have there, and she's keeping it as part of conservation. And it's the river that runs through Sue Blackshear. I got to lunch with her when I go play in Tuscaloosa.
I have 3 containers of water. This one is also from the trip to Rhonda and Pat's house over Memorial Day weekend, which was a wonderful trip. This one is a combination of water from my 2 daughters' homes in the suburbs of Boston. I went there to visit them in general, and also to meet my new grandson, Adam. That trip was interrupted by the death of my sister, and this is holy water from the Catholic Church where her funeral was held.
Symbolic water from a few trips. First of which was a trip to Sarasota where I took her for a conference, but I had a chance to catch up with a friend from high school that I had not seen for 15 years in Lake, Kansas. I knew he was down there, caught up with him, and I got to spend a little time together. Trip to Raleigh, North Carolina, and of course the trip back to Kansas for not great reasons, but
I have 2 things of water. The first one is Chris and I spent a couple of weeks in Tanzania this summer, and most of it was in the Northern Park Circuit in the Serengeti and Big Mountains. Absolutely lovely. This water is from the 3 days we spent on Zanzibar. It's water from the Indian Ocean. It has a little sand in it, like the beach. And the other container has water from Amsterdam, where we spent 3 days on the way home, and some water out of my rain gauge when Hurricane Faye or Tropical Storm Faye came through here a couple weeks ago, and I'm counting that as really Gulf water from Florida, because that's pretty well.
Bill and I spent 2 weeks at our tiny cottage in Vermont, and we forgot to bring back any water, but it's the place where we feel closest to the divine on earth, because it's so isolated, so small, and we have so little there, but we're so happy.
We had a 3-week road trip this summer, and this water is from our visiting friends in North Carolina, some of my husband's family in Virginia, our Sexton family reunion in New Jersey, my husband's family in New York City, and some friends in Maryland on the way home.
This water is also from Cape May, New Jersey for the Sexton family reunion. And on the way